Hello, ladies and gents. Romie Reviews here. Please like, comment, subscribe, and if you didn't already know, Nene. Now I understand why she's like, they need to, they keep saying it's not about her, but clearly it is. But Nene, it's about you because you have a way of making it about you. We're not going to do this for too long because I already was like over it last week, but I found a little bit of an interest with this week's because I said, oh, we're talking about the closet. We're talking about the closet. Finally. It was the most interesting thing to me, which isn't necessarily good because that was like towards the end of the season and there wasn't much to really talk about when you think about this season. See how they spent so much time in the closet because they didn't have much of anything else. Like if that didn't happen, Lord, who knows what would have happened with part 3 of this reunion. Nene is saying she had a breakdown, she had a mental breakdown, and so to be judged and ridiculed for having a breakdown, a mental breakdown at that, is not fair, it's not right, even though everyone's just looking at Nene like, Nene, we understand you had a breakdown. What you need to understand from us is that you told Porsha she shouldn't be putting her hands on people, and then Porsha checked you and said, well, didn't you put your hands on people? And you said, well, if I did, I wasn't stupid enough to do it in front of the cameras. But then you went and dragged this cameraman, his shirt, ripped his shirt, but that's not all. Apparently, Nene was on a real tirade, which is why Porsha said that she's scared, because Nene was on a roll. Nene, she wasn't actually denying any of this. That's why I knew it was bad. That's why I knew they must have had it on camera for her not to deny it like that. Because she could have said, well, I don't exactly remember. Not saying that she didn't do it, but she could have said, oh, I didn't exactly remember. But she apparently, because Nene was trying to say how much of a good friend she was to Porsha when Porsha dragged Kenya on the floor, and how Nene was the one who was helping Porsha. Nene wasn't the only one, but Nene was one of the main ones that was on Porsha's side during that. So I will definitely say that Nene has been a good friend to all of these people at some point on the show. The problem is because Nene knows she tries to hold that over everyone as if just because what you did in the past doesn't go and validate all of your future actions. That's what's going on with Nene on the show. And we have conflicting stories because not everyone saw everything. For example, Eva wasn't there to see the real melee that happened in the closet. And so Eva's recollection, or from her point of view, was that, oh, Nene never touched this person or did this or did that. Kandi was there. Porsha was there. Marlo, I guess she was there, but she didn't really see. Again, they were drunk. So I shouldn't say they were drunk. They were drinking. And so I 100% believe that Nene did black out and she doesn't exactly remember what happened, but she does acknowledge that she choked out a producer. Yes, you heard me right. She said she choked out a producer. They said that she did. She confirmed that she did. I'm thinking it was a male producer, but I'm thinking, wait a minute, what? And then my mind was starting to race. I'm thinking, so we can choke out a male producer and still have our job? I'm sorry, choke out someone on staff and still have our job, or not be suspended, or and acknowledge it. Just like I'm trying to figure out, was the producer? Because as far as we all know, the producer, Kandi was like, the producer did this, kind of like, okay, I'm not doing anything, I'm not touching you, it's alright, and Nene didn't care. She was pissed, she was over it, and even though people are trying to get her to realize what you did was messed up, she was on this whole thing of whatever. And Sherlock Porsha, public investigator Porsha, PI Porsha, just coming up with all this information and all of these details, and we finally go from, again, I can't believe choked out a producer. So choking is her thing, because remember, she allegedly did that to Kim. But now we have Porsha who's saying, because Andy was like, okay, we get it. This is ludicrous, but we get it. What about the belts? How did the belts come off? So Porsha is saying that All she knows is that the belt was on her dress one minute, and she felt someone tugging at it the next, and she felt like she went forward. Not, I guess, not like she was about to fall, but she felt like she was pushed forward, and she just couldn't figure out how, who, what, where, when, how, why. And Nene's just like, oh, so you're trying to say that I went and did that? And I think that's when Eva was like, I did not see that. I can't confirm that. And that's when Kandi was saying, you weren't there to see it. So yes, of course you can't see it. You weren't there to confirm it. That's not what you were there for. So I I need for you to not talk as if you were there. Now again, she was not going at Eva, but she was just making it clear that there are things that happened. It's possible that Nene pulled the belt. It's possible in the melee the belt got caught because production, Kandi was in front of Nene because she was like, okay. And then Porsha said that she got a butt dial and Nene was going off in the background. I mean, at this point, it was probably one of the producers called. And Nene was like, you know what? And if I see those two bees again, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem if I see these two bees again. Wow. Again, would have been different. And Nene says the only thing she regrets is how much cursing she did and what type of words she was using. Thinking, and that's what shocked everyone. They're like, so you don't feel like your physical actions were... Why would no, why? Why would... Okay. Alright. I'm not mad at the truth. I'm not mad at the truth. I'd rather hear the truth than, hear flowers and see lollipops. Then we get on to Cynthia and how Cynthia... Apparently, Noelle's doing all right. She had a rough first semester, which that does happen to a lot of college students. So, that's all right. And she loves Mike Hill. They keep talking about getting married, and everyone, including Nene, agrees that Mike is a really good guy. And now we get to Eva. Remember, Marlo's there, so Marlo's kind of putting 20 on 100. Eva's saying that her main issue with Nene, and Nene's just like, oh, it's all about me, it's me. That as a friend, she doesn't understand why Nene didn't go and take off her mic pack. How she already put it out there that she didn't want her it to be on camera, her just explaining what's going on. So then Eva again re-explained to all of us how this works. Her ex, apparently even while she was pregnant, or once she was pregnant and the relationship continued to progress or regress, as some would say, that's when things got abusive. And she obviously didn't go into detail. She just said, abusive overall. And because of that, she alluded to both, physical, verbal, mental. And because of that, that's when she decided she has to go. Not only does she have to go, she got the restraining order. So she's had the restraining order ever since her child was born. Not only has she had the restraining order ever since her child was born, she, of course, there's a difference between her going and, like I do agree, putting out her information where she knows there's security and it's for a job or whatever, versus it being put out there in the streets. And so that's why she was really pissed that her address was really, really public. Like, yes, anyone could hypothetically find it, but for it to just be so publicly known and anyone to pop up because now anyone has it, because maybe she had it blocked. She had the multiple locations where she lived. She did not own the places, but she did move around a lot. Her lease ended, and because it was public, she didn't extend it. She ended up spending somewhere around $240,000 for the wedding. Andy asked, how did she pay for it? She said she paid for it by getting extra gigs, for example, like social media stuff. And she was like, $40,000 a post. I said, for you. And it was shady. My mind did go for you. It was shady, but again, the $40,000 a post, it could have been a long-term deal. It could, and that's in the details. Everything is in the details. It's absolutely possible it could have been that amount, but everything is in the details, as we say. Um, so that was that on that for that. Marlo then starts piping up and talking about how, oh, so you weren't in a relationship, a long-term relationship in California with a woman who, I guess, was married or something, and her name starts with a C. I'm thinking, huh? And everyone was agreeing on the, Nene, Marlo, Kandi, Shamari couch, except for Shamari, because she didn't know this information, that a lot of people that were supposed to be close to Eva were putting out this information on her. And now we get to Cynthia and Nene. And I'm so proud of Cynthia for really digging in her heels and standing firm in what she said and what she believes and what she believes in. Her main stance is this: Nene, I've been a great friend to you. And yes, because originally we were all like, okay, Cynthia, this all looks crazy. Kandi confirmed once again that Cynthia did not know that Kenya was absolutely coming. She did invite her. She wanted her to come, but Kenya was like, no, because remember, there's just a lot going on. And so Kenya called Kandi and told Kandi she would be coming. She was right around the corner, meet me outside. And Cynthia does acknowledge that, okay, I could have told Nene in advance and let the pieces fall. But we know why she didn't tell Nene. She wanted to avoid any stupid conflict that may not have even happened. Yes, Kenya did ignore Nene, but they're not in a good space, so why would Kenya talk to Nene at the party? That's not starting a fight. Starting a fight is them talking and maybe something petty coming out. That's what starting a fight is. And so when I do believe Cynthia when Cynthia said that she told Mike, "Oh, I'm supposed to act like I didn't know that Kenya was coming." She was saying that kind of in jest, like, whatever. I'm not gonna go and put 20 on 10 about Kenya coming because, look, it's not really important. It's just petty. It's very petty. I get that Nene said you gave Eva a courtesy of Yavanna coming around to, Nene's party, because Cynthia did say that Nene should tell Eva just so that she knows, because Yavanna and Eva weren't the best of friends or in a great space. And even though that's true, you have to, it's like you and Kenya in this social media mess, really, it's not that important. It's not that big of a deal. Super Sleuth Porsha talked about what I said before at the end of today, tomorrow, the day after that, the day after that, the day after that. I'm glad that Cynthia said it again. You're really going to fall out over something like this. Over something like this. I apologize for not telling you. I apologize then. But you're not about to go and reprimand me at my own party and call me out of my own party about something that I didn't even know was going to happen. I did not get a confirmation. I put it out there that, hey, I have this thing going on. I would love for you to come. Left it as that. She didn't want to deal with Nene. She didn't want to deal with Nene, and Nene's feelings are hurt because Nene feels like Cynthia always goes and caters to Kenya. Just like how Kenya used to feel like Nene would go, that Cynthia would go and cater to Nene. It's just never ending. It's never ending. Cynthia's clearly a very, very good friend. A great friend. Because she has had these two women in the past fighting over her like she was a piece of meat. And that has to be tiring over time. We ended off with Porsha saying that she will be around Kandi and her people, but while she was pregnant, she just wanted to keep the energy positive because she's not on the best of terms with Kandi's, staff. And I said, that's real. And the show pretty much ended with them reading their fortunes. Everyone kind of got everyone else's fortunes, and they do this nice little prayer, and that was it. Remember, Porsha has a special going on for the next 2 or 3 weeks. Porsha, what is it? Porsha's baby shower, whatever they were called. Porsha giving birth. Porsha's expecting, whatever it is. But the next 2 or 3 weeks, it'll still say Real Housewives, but it's because Porsha's special will be on. That's it. Please like, comment, subscribe. The finale for, what is this? The finale for Married to Medicine is up next.